This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with your 17 News homicide tracker. A man was shot and killed in East Bakersfield this morning. It happened around 6 a.m. Kern County Sheriff's deputies were called out to the area of Steel Street and Mount Vernon Avenue for reports of a victim who'd been shot. When deputies arrived, they found a man with a gunshot wound and he died at the scene. Meantime, deputies in Ridgecrest are investigating a killing from yesterday morning. It happened in the 4500 block of Drummond Avenue. When deputies arrived, they found evidence of a shooting, but no victim. They later discovered the man was taken to the hospital by a private party and pronounced dead. If you know anything about either of these killings, you can call the Kern County Sheriff's Office at 861-3110, or you can remain anonymous by calling the Secret Witness Hotline at 661-322-4040. There have been 4 confirmed homicides in Kern County this year, according to 17 News records. Now to COVID-19, as schools and businesses continue to deal with the surge in cases, as thousands in Kern County are currently isolating at home with the virus. 8,737 new cases were announced from over the 3-day weekend, along with 8 new deaths. 286 people are in local hospitals with the virus. That's 7 more than yesterday. 44 more are fighting for their lives in the ICU. That's up 5. Public Health is asking the community to use the 911 system responsibly and only call in a true emergency, as the system is experiencing a high volume of calls. As cases surge across the country and here in Kern, the virus is running rampant in our schools, with kids and staff members testing positive or having to quarantine because of exposure. Officials are doing all they can just to stay afloat. 17's Chris Burton reports.
At Highland Elementary School in North Bakersfield, Principal Mary Highfield is doing her best.
I think we're hanging on by a thread right now. I think we are just pulled to both ends, and we're lucky that these people are professional and they love what they do, and so their dedication is really showing right now.
It's a scene familiar to educators across Kern County. School staffs stretched to their breaking points as COVID sidelines kids and adults. Last week, Highland operated at 75% staff, forcing teachers to pull double and triple duty.
The logistics of making sure there's a teacher for every classroom is probably the biggest struggle that we have right now.
And shortages abound across education staff. Norris School District shuttered its bus services for 2 weeks because it didn't have enough drivers. And districts are scrambling to find replacement staff.
Definitely looking to find more substitutes. I mean, the shortage on subs.
But every school district is looking to snap up extra staff members. Some schools have to accept there are no reinforcements on the horizon.
Well, of course, we all want to bring in outside help. The problem is there's no outside help to bring in.
Even with severe shortages, teachers, officials, and doctors agree. Whatever the cost, schools should stay open.
I know that we won't close the schools again. I can't say that with 100%, but I just don't think that's the right thing.
Constantly putting these kids on a roller coaster of school is open, school is closed, school is open, school is closed is just not fair to them. It really affects their mental health, and what they need in sort of a period of time like this is consistency.
Highfield says she'll get through it one day at a time.
Honestly, Chris, I don't look weeks ahead. I look at today, I get through today, and I will worry about tomorrow.
17's Chris Burton reporting. California, meantime, has reached a grim milestone in the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. According to an NBC News tally, the state has surpassed 7 million COVID-19 cases, becoming the first state to do so. California also has the highest number of deaths, with health officials reporting more than 78,000 lives lost since the beginning of the pandemic. It all comes as the Omicron variant continues to spread across the country. A combo flu shot and COVID-19 booster could be on the way. Moderna's CEO says the vaccine maker is working on the single shot booster, and he hopes that the U.S.-based company will have a combined vaccine booster ready to test by this summer. The news came at a forum on the future of coronavirus, a future that many experts believe could include a yearly COVID vaccine booster.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
And 17 News is your local election headquarters. Jeff Flores, who is Chief of Staff for 3rd District Supervisor Mike Maggard, formally announced this morning he's running for Maggard's seat on the Board of Supervisors.
I am running for Kern County Board of Supervisors because I care about our values and I want to make a better place to live, work, and prosper. Kern County's agriculture, energy, aerospace, natural resources has allowed us to fuel, defend, and feed our nation. Now with dangerous state laws that release prisoners early, state and national policies that cause inflation, homelessness is at the door of our neighborhoods and our businesses, Kern County is at a crossroads to define our own success or fall into decline.
Flores will be running against former California Highway Patrol Assistant Chief Brian Smith and former Bakersfield Homeless Center CEO Lewis Gill. National news now, and senators are returning to Washington under intense pressure to pass voting legislation. The Senate is launching debate on 2 bills today, the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. Both aim to broaden access to the ballot box, protect election officials, and raise the bar for states with recent histories of discrimination to change voting laws. Today's debate comes after civil rights leaders pressed senators to change the rules and break a Republican-led filibuster that has stalled the voting legislation. Now to pedestrian safety. A man who was crossing the street in a wheelchair was killed in South Bakersfield this weekend. It happened Sunday just after 9 p.m. on Lotus Lane near Melwood Street. BPD says the man was taken to a local hospital where he died. Investigators say he was crossing outside of a crosswalk. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene and cooperated with police. Drugs, alcohol, and speed do not appear to be factors in this crash. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce is holding a virtual panel discussion joined by statewide leaders to discuss the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, policy priorities over the next year, and key business issues impacting the economy. The panel will be moderated by Bakersfield Chamber President Nick Ortiz, and it's happening from 11 a.m. to noon. We have placed a link to sign up for the free virtual discussion on our website. Just head to kget.com and click the hot link icon. Meantime, local leaders this week will be holding panel discussions on the silent deadly epidemic of fentanyl. Bakersfield Recovery Service is hosting the event, which will include Q&A with District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer, along with representatives from Bakersfield Police and the Kern County Sheriff's Office. A family that lost a loved one to a fentanyl overdose will also be giving testimony. It's scheduled for Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. You can watch a live stream of the discussion on our KGET Facebook page. Well, making news around the world, a huge asteroid more than twice the size of the Empire State Building will race past Earth at 43,000 miles an hour today. While there's no threat that the asteroid will hit our planet, NASA still considers it a potentially hazardous object due to a combination of size and distance from Earth. NASA's Eyes on Asteroid website is currently tracking the space rock, so you'll be able to see when it approaches and passes by at around 1:51 p.m. It's the closest the asteroid will come to our planet for another 2 centuries. The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.